Alright, this little tutorial is about remote controlling a VLC playlist through a web browser. Remember this destination folder, by the way. Over HTTP. This could be useful in some ways, I guess. It's actually a lot more like GUI control instead of just playlist control. However, since this is so extremely easy to set up, I figured I would show everyone how to quickly set this up and get it running. I found this interface to be rather buggy, which I don't like, and hopefully they'll fix that in future releases. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. Alright, first we're going to let this VLC run. Alright, hit OK. And we're going to go in Tools, Preferences, hit it to All, Interface, Main Interface, click on HTTP, Remote Control Interface, hit HTTP. This allows you to bind it to just a certain network interface on your computer. For example, if you just want to be able to access it through local machine, it'd be 127.0.0.1. We're going to change the port number from default 8080 to 8081. And I haven't tried export album art, but you can go ahead and try that. Go ahead and hit save. And basically, all we're going to do is add a web interface, but for right now we're going to close that. We're going to open a pre-created playlist that I made, and that's going to start playing. And we're going to go to add interface, web interface. Now we're going to quick open up your browser, HTTP, and then we're going to do a localhost 8081, and boom, there's your playlist right there. All songs, you can click on a different song and it will immediately start playing. Now that works well enough, kind of nice, and you can actually do a few nice things from here. You can stream your outputs to whatever the heck you want, which is kind of nice to do from remotely. And toggles the playlist. I haven't gotten full screen to do anything. Don't know why would anyone want that. There's a few other things you can do. The VLM interface for broadcasting, flash based. I haven't tried that. Doesn't seem to work. I haven't really played around with that. So that's pretty much the extent of it. You already have that set up, and the only thing we have to do is change it so that you can actually access it from another computer besides your local host one, because by default it doesn't let you do that. So we're going to go, basically we're going to find where we installed it, usually program files, and then video LAN, VLC, HTTP, and then .host. We're going to edit that with, usually you can open it in Notepad. I have Notepad++. You'll see here, localhost adds that. If you want it to be adding to the world can access it, we're not going to do that. We're just going to add 10.10.10.140, which is another IP in my LAN. We're going to not copy that. We're going to save it and close it, and that actually allows the other machine to access it. They would just go to HTTP // and then the IP address, which would be, in this case, 10.10.10.126, and then port 8081. Boom, it would pull this up and they could control the playlist from that computer. Now, you notice the media library, not really a whole lot you can do. You can open files. I believe they will play on there. What you're going to want to, it's not the greatest thing. What we're going to do is quick open a file. And it will open it right there. So you can do that manually. That opens a file to play. It'll play pretty much anything. Now, for the bugs itself, let's stop this, close the web interface, and we will close this down. Next, we're going to open VLC Media Player. Go to Tools, Preferences, All. Actually, make sure that everything looks correct. HTTP. Still all looks correct. I'm going to go to Tool or View Playlist, Media Library, where you're going to add a directory. Let's just add one so that it goes very quickly. And we're just going to go ahead and close that, open up our playlist once again. And little hint here, it does not save the web interface every time. So every time we have to go to add web interface. And then you're going to have to go back to localhost 8081 as the library just fine for that amount. Go ahead and minimize that. And you can click on any of these and it'll play. Now, however, this is where problem occurs. We're going to add a rather large amount of files to this. This will take a little while. It'll search through and add all of them. You can actually add video files to your media library and add them to playlists, and it will allow you to change those just like anything else, and it'll play just fine on the local machine. And it looks like it added everything. Alright, great. Now we're going to go ahead and close that and reopen this. Add the web interface. Reopen this. And you'll notice here it'll show what's playing, and you can search just fine and skip through and it'll play just fine. However, you can't do anything with this. There is nothing. You can still control the playlist by hitting these buttons, but it does not show up. I'm assuming it's just because of the amount of files. Maybe if you give enough time to categorize everything, it'll show up, but it doesn't also show what's currently playing, which is rather disconcerting. And nothing I've been able to do has been able to solve that. So useful in a pinch, but not the greatest interface. That about sums it up.